So Shauna, when it comes to SEO, what, in your opinion, do you consider to be the most important key element for SEO?
Well, I was going to say content, but you brought up a really good point about time. And, it does take time. People who are just opening a store, they think they're going to get ranked wide array. And it usually can take up to 6 months to a year. Nothing's going to happen overnight. There's also no quick way. Somebody cannot come up to you and say, look, I'm going to make it happen in 30 days. And there's a lot of SEO scams out there that will guarantee you rankings. And there is no guarantee, and nobody knows how exactly the search engines work. If anybody did, then they would manipulate what users see, and that's not what the search engines want, because it drives down the quality. So content.
Yeah, and a point to add there is that search engines are often changing their algorithms and modules to go back to what your point was on user experience. They're always trying to get customers to keep coming back to their site, so they will constantly change it to improve those results. Absolutely. So, you're 100% right. It takes time, and you really have to understand that. Don't expect it overnight.
Absolutely. And especially when you're first starting, they kind of put this new sites in the little kitty sandbox and make you stay there until you got a little bit of age under your belt, and let the more experienced sites up on top, because users we're not really sure who you are yet, and those users need to see sites that have been around a while, have some links to them, have some good content. So you kind of have to prove yourself, walk in and prove yourself. But with the content is so important, and they say content is king. But I say that relevancy is queen, and so you're going to need king and queen to rule the kingdom. And for instance, we talked about the dog beds. If somebody's looking for a dog bed for a golden retriever, and you write up a page, dog bed for a Shih Tzu, that's not relevant to the golden retriever. And if I'm looking for a dog bed for my baby, which is 104 pounds, that little bed is not going to work for me.
No, definitely not.
So if I clicked on that link and I saw that, I'd be like, get me out, or I'd have to go shuffle around. Whereas if I looked up that, I found the relevancy, I came to your page, you have this bed for my dog, it's the perfect size, click add to cart, I'm done. And when it comes to relevancy, you really have to focus from the top to the bottom of the page.
Talking about relevancy, do you have an example of something you could kind of show us, so we do a search and kind of show how when you do a search in a search engine, you see that relevancy for certain keywords?
Absolutely. So for instance, we did a search here for Yahoo Store Design previously, and I'm going to show you, how we got that natural ranking and how we showed that relevancy from the top to the bottom. And one of I call it my little cheat that I like to use to be able to see how we got there, is if we clicked right here on the cached version, this will actually highlight the terms that we were searching for and show on the page how we were relevant. And first of all, if you notice in the title tag, we're relevant, Yahoo Store Design.
When you say relevant, you're referring to the fact that the customer searched Yahoo Store Design. So because your page in the title has Yahoo Store Design, that's what makes it relevant. It's because it comes back to what the customer put in as their keywords searching for you. Exactly. And how it came up. So now what you're going through is showing the different things within your page that are actually showing that relevance.
100%.
Well, good. So that relevancy is how we're trying to kind of emphasize what we mean by relevancy.
That's right.
So please continue. Let's continue.
That's right. So what we're looking for is the highlighted terms show exactly what we were looking for and why we were picked, because of the relevancy throughout the page. And if you notice, it's not just on the top, it's pretty much throughout the page. Notice again though, it's not all together. We're not trying to spam. But it's just a sprinkle, like a sprinkle of salt here, a sprinkle of salt there. But from the top down to the very bottom, it's focused, it's relevant, it's about Yahoo Store Design.
And you bring up a good point about salt. Too much salt is, just like too much salt is bad for you, too much of the keyword can be bad, because search engines may look at it and think it's, like you said, spammy. So
Yes.
definitely sprinkle.
Yes, because, we are targeting, here very well. But yes, if you use too much, you're going to die, literally.
Well, let's not go that far.
Well,
but it's important.
But no, your site could actually, in the terms of Google, because they will ban you. And now I mentioned Google a lot. I know we work with Yahoo stores, but Google is your monster. I think last survey said 57% of people use Google.
Mhm.
That's a monster amount. I think Yahoo was at 20%. That is huge. If that's where majority of your visitors are coming from, you really need to make them happy. And they have done a really good job of making sure that when I go and do a search in there, whatever I'm looking for, I'm going to find. And this is another thing that I know, is that unique content is very important too. And, let's say that I go to the doctor and I find out, I've got something weird going on and I need to go look it up. I want to find relevant topics.
Mhm.
So you have to remember, it's got to be relevant. Just keep in mind, Google's a business. Just like you and me, it's a business.